A couple of days ago, I was thinking about which storytime animator to make next for this series, but as I was taking a break on good old YouTube, somehow the first video that pops up was a video by SomeThingElseYT that was in 3D. I already thought that this was perfect for the next video, and then on top of that, I realized his name was also Adam. I immediately took this as a sign and immediately got to work on the model. So today, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating, texturing, rigging, and posing his character in 3D. Before I started making the model, I needed to find some references so that it doesn't end up looking like crap once it's done. I couldn't find any T-poses online, and I was too lazy to make a sheet, so I kinda just took some screenshots from his videos and plopped them on in there. Please don't make fun of me. I began to work on blocking out the initial features like I always do, being literally just a sphere and two horns. So in that case, let's play a game with some audience participation. Can you, the viewer, tell me the difference between these two pictures? Jokes aside, the head and neck were very easy to block out, so I quickly got to work on the hoodie. I used a basic shape and then I smoothed it out until I got the result I wanted, but something I pretty much do with all clothing is that I make it look super baggy around the ends, so I had to try making the correct shape while also not making him look like an average Discord mod. I'd also like to mention why the model looks so weird right now compared to the previous time lapses, and that's because I found out about this rainbow mode that makes modeling slightly easier. So get used to seeing it from now on, I guess, and don't say anything in the comments. I finished up the cuffs and the hood, so now it's time to work on the hands. Now usually I would reuse the same hand model that I use on basically all my characters, but for some reason Adam is so freaky and has these demon looking hands. So I had to model new hands and it was so horrible. It was really easy. When I was starting Blender, hands were a huge challenge for me, so I was really scared starting this one up. But then I just kind of made it good in 5 minutes. I definitely wasn't gonna complain though, so a tip to all you artists out there, it gets easier. I have no clue how I got better at making hands in so little time. After I made the hands, it was time to work on the legs. But then I realized that Adam also has those triangle end feet, just like Brody. So, Control-C, Control-V. And very quickly, the model was already done. So now it was time for the fun part, texturing. I started off with the face, and usually I make them in Adobe Illustrator, but I wanted to simply paint them on instead today. I also think it turned out really good because it made it feel more drawn on compared to a smooth vector line, and I should probably get used to doing this before my school stops paying for Illustrator, so tell me which one you guys think is better so I can work on the next model. And don't worry, for those of you begging me again, I added the toon shader again because Spider-Verse! For the sweater and cuffs, I added a knitted texture because I think it looks really cool on most of the models I use it on, so it was kind of a mix on this one between toon shader and realistic looking hoodie. Now by this point, I was hitting my stride, thinking that this model was way easier than the other ones, and that this wasn't gonna be another James situation. But then I realized that I was an actual idiot and noticed that my references didn't have the common sense logo on them. I felt so stupid about it, but when I tried adding it onto my current setup, it just looked weird and kinda out of place. I'm so sorry about getting such a small detail wrong. But anyways, I finished painting the model, so now it was time for rigging. If you've seen the previous two videos, then you'll know that me and rigging don't exactly have the healthiest relationship. But then I decided to cheat on rigging with Rigify. For those of you who don't know, Rigify is an add-on that automatically rigs and moves your characters for you, with a ton of controls and stuff. And the automatic weights are way smarter than Blender's. So I decided to slap on a Rigify rig to see what happens, and just, wow, it just works perfectly. Last time I had to spend an hour weight painting everything, but here it just worked with no issues, which I'm very grateful for. By this point I was feeling really good, because now that I had the rig behind me, I could get to the fun part, which was staging. This is the part of the process where I could actually make a cool picture, so I was really excited. But then I realized that my Adam wasn't same as the new Adam profile picture, so it would look really off if I tried to replicate it. So I went around scouring for some poses to make, and then I decided to remake the same song cover I saw before I started this. However, as I was making it, I realized that my proportions were different than the one in the picture, so the arms would just look kind of funky, and then so I had to scrap the idea. By this point, I was running out of ideas, so I just decided to make a simple wave. Call me lazy, but I think y'all already know that at this point. After that was done, I added some light glare and a small vignette, and then the render was done. I made two separate versions. One is normal, and the other uses Blender's default grease pencil outline. The problem though is that this kind of looks like it's in Fortnite, which doesn't make it look that good. But anyways, I want your opinion on which looks better in the comments so that I can do better next time. But in total, it was done. Anyways, I'll leave a Google Drive link in the description so that you guys can see this work for yourself. Thank y'all for watching this small little video to the end. You have all been extremely supportive of my little skits so far, especially this one, and I can't show just how much I appreciate that. Before you go, I want to remind y'all that there's 2 months left on the sub goal. If we can reach 1,000 subscribers before May of this year, I'll make an animation of y'all's choosing. Thank you for watching, and bye!